Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about someone who has completely redefined what it means to be different in Hollywood, Aubrey Plaza. Now, let me ask you something right from the start. Have you ever felt like you didn't quite fit into the usual mold? Like you were just a little too quiet, a little too weird, or maybe just different? What if I told you that those exact traits could be your biggest strength? That's exactly what makes Aubrey Plaza such a fascinating figure. Most people first met her as April Ludgate on Parks and Recreation, the queen of sarcasm, awkward silences, and those perfectly timed deadpan stares. But here's the thing, that role didn't feel like acting in the traditional sense. It felt real, almost like she was just being herself. And that authenticity, that's what made people fall in love with her. But her story goes way deeper than just one iconic role. Before the fame, before the recognition, she was just another creative trying to find her place. She studied film and improv in New York and even interned at Saturday Night Live. Now imagine being in a place like that, surrounded by some of the funniest, most talented people, and still trying to figure out what makes you unique. Would you try to blend in, or would you take the risk of standing out? And then something unexpected happened that could have changed everything. At just 20 years old, Aubrey Plaza suffered a stroke that temporarily affected her speech. Think about that for a moment. Someone who would later become known for her delivery, her timing, her voice, suddenly faced a challenge that threatened all of it. It makes you wonder how many people give up when life hits them like that, and how many choose to fight through it. What's inspiring is that she didn't let that moment define her limits. Instead, she kept going, and not in a safe, predictable way either. After her success on Parks and Recreation, she didn't just stick to comedy. She started choosing roles that were darker, more complex, and honestly, a little uncomfortable. Take Ingrid Goes West, for example. That wasn't your typical lighthearted role. It explored obsession, loneliness, and the darker side of social media. Then there's Emily the Criminal, where she played a desperate woman pulled into the world of crime. These weren't characters designed to be liked. They were characters designed to make you think. So here's a question for you. Do you think we grow more by staying comfortable or by stepping into roles that challenge us, even if they make others uneasy? And just when people thought they had her figured out, she stepped into another level with The White Lotus. Her performance there showed a completely different side, emotional, layered, and deeply human. It proved something important. She wasn't just a quirky actress. She was a serious talent capable of range and depth. But beyond the screen, her life has had its own emotional ups and downs. Like many people, she's experienced personal loss and major life changes. And recently, there's been news about her stepping into a new chapter of life, one that's more personal and transformative. It's a reminder that no matter how successful someone looks from the outside, they're still navigating real-life challenges behind the scenes. And that brings us to something worth thinking about. Why do we often forget that celebrities are human too? We see the red carpets, the performances, the interviews, but we rarely stop to think about the struggles, the fears, the quiet moments that shape who they are. Aubrey Plaza's journey is powerful because it's not about perfection, it's about authenticity. She didn't try to become what Hollywood expected. She didn't force herself into a mold. Instead, she leaned into what made her different. The awkwardness, the unpredictability, the quiet intensity, all the things that might have made her stand out in a room became the very things that made her unforgettable on screen. So let me ask you one more thing. What's something about you that you've always seen as a flaw? And what if, just like Aubrey Plaza, that flaw is actually your greatest strength waiting to be embraced? Because at the end of the day, her story isn't just about acting. It's about owning who you are, even when it doesn't make sense to everyone else. It's about trusting that your uniqueness has value, even in a world that sometimes pushes people to be the same. Alright, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this and want more stories that make you think a little deeper, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and keeps these conversations going. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite Aubrey Plaza performance? And do you think being different is a strength or a challenge? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.